You ever let one little comment ruin your whole day? That was me the other morning. I was grumbling to myself, already irritated about something, and then my wife said something that just pushed that button. She moved on with her day, but I stayed stuck in the story I was telling myself. Tonight I want to talk about how those little stories, the ones in our head, can quietly steal the joy out of a perfectly good day if we let them. So have you ever started the day in a bad mood and just stay there for a while, even after everybody else had moved on? That was me the other morning. It started with a simple thing, drip irrigation we got for our potted plants on the one side of the house had quit working. And I was talking about it and trying to decide, well, do I want to fool around with trying to fix it now, because we were getting ready to leave for Ann Arbor to go pick up a couple of the younger grandsons for the day. And then my wife made a comment about, well, why don't you fix it? Our neighbor next door would work on his stuff. That's what the man of the house would do. You know how it is. You've been married a long time, us 47-ish, 48 years. There's certain phrases that just push that button. Now, Sandy didn't mean anything by it. Not really. She's the kind of person that says what's on her mind at the moment. And then usually that's one of the things I really love about her. Never have to wonder what's on her mind. So she moved on with her day. But me, I was stuck now with all these little stories in my head. Stories I started telling myself and getting mad. And here's the thing, I wasn't mad about the irrigation. I went and took a look at it, fixed it in 5 minutes. But those stories stuck in my head. Stories that I wasn't good enough. I wasn't being appreciated. I was being taken for granted. But the story wasn't true. The story was, I just needed to get out of that little pity party that was going on in my head. And get on with my day. A day that was going to be a lot of fun because we're picking up our two grandsons we don't see all that often, maybe once a week or something. And so I talked about this very subject the other day in a video called The Stories We Tell Ourselves. I'll leave a link to it. And when you know it, just a couple days after making that video, I found myself right in that exact same situation. Stories running around in my head. And so, I eventually worked my way out of it on the drive up to Ann Arbor, about an hour or so for us. And so the day kept moving along. We picked up our two little grandsons, Theo and Lucas, 3 and almost 1. A couple of great kids. We went, took them straight over to her, to Sandy's mom's house, because she hasn't seen them for a couple of months. So that was a lot of fun. The kids were great. The boys were wonderful, full of energy, but very polite and friendly, a lot of smiles. So we came home, spent the rest of the afternoon at our house, had a great time. Kids played good. Later on, towards dinner time, we drove them back up to Ann Arbor, met our son Jake, and handed them back off again. And on our way home, just normal stuff, picked up some groceries, grabbed some ice cream in the evening. It was a really good day. But if I'd have stayed stuck in those stories in my head, stories I was telling myself, I might have missed the whole thing and made it a lot less enjoyable for everybody else involved too. So here's what I'm learning slowly, stubbornly, slowly but surely. Not every bad mood has to shape your day. Not every comment that somebody makes deserves the full courtroom treatment in your head. Because what sounds like, a horrible thing to you is probably just an offhand comment to somebody else. And you should take it that way. An offhand comment. And not every story we tell ourselves is actually true. So you can start off in a grumble and end up in gratitude. All it takes is sticking with the people you love and that love you and choosing to keep showing up, even when the feelings haven't quite caught up yet. You got to quiet that little stories rolling around in your head. So thanks for spending a few quiet minutes with me tonight. If you've ever had a day that started out rocky but turned out great, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. I know we've all had them. I've certainly had my share of them. And if you've ever caught yourself telling a story to yourself about yourself that wasn't true, well, welcome to the club. We all do it. We just got to keep trying to get better. Every day a little bit better. So this is Opa's evening review for another night. Gentle words for a loud world. And we'll see you next time.